To whom do the feelings I carry inside when I'm in a relationship belong? Are they really mine? When I look at my partner, how much of what I feel is an echo of my ancestors' history and not my here and now? What unconscious vow made by my grandfather or father am I repeating in my partnership? What happens if I allow myself to feel without knowing what I should do with it? What space for love can I be if I let go of the roles I inherited? Which of my ancestors has been forgotten, excluded? And am I unconsciously placing them between myself and my partner? Am I loyal to the suffering of the women in my lineage? And does that loyalty prevent me from being fully present with her? Do I look at my partner through the eyes of my mother, grandmother, or through my own? Does my soul agree to walk with a woman, or is there still some bond from the past holding me back? Can I today internally say, "This is yours, I choose my own life and my own love"? What memory encoded in my body sabotages my openness to intimacy? Is my relationship with a woman an attempt to fix something that happened long ago? Which male ancestor do I carry inside when I distance myself, and can I respectfully put him down today? What does my partnership look like when I am no longer a needy boy, but a giving man? What energy, awareness, and choice are available to me now if I stop being a prisoner of my lineage's history? What don't I want to see in myself that my partner shows me? What have I closed off to out of fear of repeating history? What part of me fears it will love and be abandoned, just as someone in my family tree once was? What do I choose today? Loyalty to the past or fullness of life in love? Am I ready to allow love to be easier than it was for my ancestors? What role did I learn from my father in relation to a woman, and does that role still serve me today? Do I hold in my heart resentment that isn't mine, but affects how I love? Where in my body do I feel the presence of histories that aren't mine, but influence my relationships? Do I allow myself to love without guilt, even if my ancestors could not? When entering a relationship, am I trying to make amends to someone I never met? Is my yes in love really mine, or spoken on behalf of my lineage? Does my loyalty to the suffering of the men in my family tree separate me from intimacy? Who in my family lost a beloved person, and do I still carry that pain? Can I accept a woman as she is, or am I trying to heal my mother through her? Am I present, Or does the presence of a woman trigger a flight in me that isn't mine? Am I ready to look at my relationship through the eyes of the soul, not the eyes of fear? Is there room in my heart for only one woman, or does someone else still occupy space? Does my sexuality flow freely and naturally, or does it bear marks of my ancestors' suppressed history? Do I allow myself closeness, or am I loyal to the loneliness that once protected me? Did the men before me know how to love, or am I the first who has a chance? Can I receive tenderness without suspicion that behind it hides betrayal or loss? Does my body trust a woman, or does it still remember pain that doesn't come from this life? Am I ready to say to the past, "Thank you, now I choose differently"? Am I loyal to the difficult stories of my lineage, or do I dare to live lightly? Do I feel that I have to earn love because someone before me was rejected? Can I see my partner as a woman and not as a projection of my wounds? Is my silence a space or a hiding of pain that was never spoken? Can I stop today and ask myself, is what I feel really me? Do my relationships end the same way as my father's or grandfather's? And is that a coincidence? Can I be free with a woman? Or am I a prisoner of what is unspoken? Does my soul long for something that didn't happen in my life, but in the life of someone before me? Is my no really my no, or a learned protection against rejection? Do I feel guilty when I love more than my father or grandfather could? Am I ready to stop fixing and start building? Is my anger in the relationship the voice of men who were never allowed to speak? Can I recognize when my reaction is a response to something from generations ago? Do I carry in my relationship the shadow of a woman rejected by the lineage? Can I say, I am me, you are you, and that is enough? Are my decisions about love truly mine, or echoes of family expectations? Can I allow myself today to be present without needing to fight, run away, or rescue? Am I ready to accept that I can be happy in love even if my ancestors were not? Does my body trust touch, or does it remember a touch that once hurt a woman from my lineage? Am I afraid of loss because someone once lost and never recovered? Is my heart closed because an open heart once hurt someone I didn't know? Can I look at a woman and see a path, not a threat? Can I be close and not disappear, even if someone before me disappeared? Do I allow myself to feel joy in being with her, without sabotage from the past? Am I ready to let go of a burden that was not mine, but that I held for years? Can I be fully a man with a woman, no longer the son of my mother? Does my I love you come from freedom or from fear of being alone? Can I be with her without simultaneously being with someone who left long ago? Does my body carry resistance to closeness because someone was betrayed once? Can I open to a woman today without needing the stories that once protected me? Are my choices guided by the soul or by unconscious alliances with my lineage? Am I ready to stop repeating and start living? Do I feel enough in love? Or am I still proving something to someone from the past? Can I feel gratitude that now I have a chance that wasn't there before? Is my partnership a response of the heart or an attempt to heal ancestral pain? Can I allow it to be good, even if for generations it was difficult? Do I repeat the fate of one of my ancestors in my relationship, even if I'm not aware? Do I allow myself to feel love without needing to control how it happens? Am I loyal to the history of separation that once was a drama in my lineage? Is my jealousy my own emotion, or an echo of betrayals that once shattered trust between a woman and a man? Can I accept a woman as she is, or do I try to make her into what my mother or grandmother needed? Are my love choices truly free, or do they arise from unconscious family dynamics? Do I feel that I must protect a woman because someone once failed to protect her? Do I carry the memory of the one who was rejected and unnecessarily try to save her through my partner? Can I allow myself to be seen in a relationship without hiding behind a facade of strength? Am I ready to stand on the side of life, not on the side of my lineage's suffering? When I look at my partner, do I really see her? Or do I see a shadow of the past? Can I be in a relationship without the need to be the woman's rescuer? Does my willingness for closeness end when fear of loss appears? With my woman, am I a man or still a boy craving his mother's attention? Can I say today I no longer have to suffer to be loyal to my lineage? Am I in partnership for love or for unconscious atonement? Do I repeat patterns of rejection that once broke someone's relationship in my lineage? Is my impatience in love mine, or a history of fleeing from pain that my body took on? Do I say I love you from contact with my heart, or only to soothe anxiety? Am I fighting for something in my relationship that was lost long ago by others? Am I ready to allow myself to feel without fear that it will consume me? Does my body trust a woman, or does it build a barrier protecting from old pain? Do I feel a heaviness in my heart when I approach her? And does that heaviness have roots in the past? Am I ready to be loved, even if my ancestors never experienced such love? Are my emotional needs in the relationship mine or inherited from the hunger of previous generations? Can I stop and feel, instead of constantly fixing, improving, analyzing? Am I trying to compensate for my mother's suffering by being the perfect partner for my woman? Does my fear of abandonment have a name and history I have yet to know? Can I be in a relationship without the need for suffering that was once the price of closeness? Can I allow my heart to speak more quietly than my thoughts? Am I ready to stop fighting for love that has already been given to me? Do my relationships end when true closeness appears? And is that a pattern from the past? Can I be in a relationship with a woman without being emotionally tied to the past? Am I loyal to my own path, or do I still try to meet the expectations of ancestral spirits? Can I say today, I see what I carried, and I choose to put it down? Am I ready to free a woman from the role of healer of my pain? Are my emotions in the relationship my own reactions or old stories demanding release? Am I ready to accept that I have the right to love without suffering, without struggle, without sacrifice? Do I allow myself to feel safe in being loved without having to prove anything? When I look into my partner's eyes, do I see her, or do I see a need to fill a void? Can I stop punishing myself today for the mistakes of my ancestors? Am I ready to stop being the one who saves the lineage and simply be myself? Do I feel that I have to earn love because someone before me did not receive it unconditionally? Can I allow myself to feel joy without fear that I will lose it soon? Can I accept her love without suspicion that something lies behind it? Are my reactions in conflict coming from the present situation or from traumas recorded in my lineage? Am I ready to take responsibility for my feelings, but stop taking responsibility for the fate of the lineage? Can I breathe freely today as a free man who no longer has to carry everything? Can I acknowledge my strength without the need for domination, proving myself or fighting? Am I ready to allow the relationship to be a gift, not an obligation? Can I say today, thank you, ancestors, now I will go my own way? Do I carry a fear of being betrayed that does not come from my own experience? Can I look at my relationship without the need to fix the past? Do I feel that I have to suffer to prove that I love strongly enough? Is my anger towards a woman an echo of the injustice my mother or grandmother experienced? Can I breathe freely when I am close to a woman? Are my boundaries clear or soaked with fear of rejection? Am I ready to love a woman as she is, not as the women my ancestors lacked? Do I feel I need to defend myself before someone even hurts me? Is my withdrawing in a relationship a survival mechanism inherited from someone who couldn't stay? Do I allow myself to be seen without needing to prove anything? Is my guilt in a relationship an echo of someone else's choice from generations ago? Am I ready to feel that I am no longer a boy seeking attention? Can I accept refusal without dramatizing it like it once happened in my family? Is my "I have to" in a relationship really necessary, or is it just an echo of old compulsion? Am I ready to be free, even if freedom in my lineage cost loneliness? Can I feel pleasure without the sense that punishment is coming soon? Can I look a woman in the eyes without needing to escape into my head? Am I ready to let go of the good boy role that keeps me away from being a real man? Is my desire for control in a relationship a need for safety that someone once lost? Do I allow myself gentleness, or do I believe only toughness brings survival? Does my heart trust life or cling to old wounds? Can I sit silently next to a woman without needing to fix anything? Am I ready to accept that my partnership doesn't have to have anything to do with past losses? Can I allow a woman to love me without trying to deserve it? Does my body feel safe in touch? Or does it tense up in defense of old stories? Am I ready to feel more than my fathers and grandfathers did? Do I feel I must be stronger to avoid repeating past failures? Does my body remember the stories of women who were hurt, and because of that, do I distrust a woman now? Can I say to myself, that has already happened, now I am here? Are my patterns of withdrawal in relationships an attempt to protect myself from a loss that wasn't mine? Can I allow a woman to be with me in silence, without tension that I have to do something? Am I ready to stop hating myself for mistakes that were not mine? Is my tension around a woman a response to the energy of the lineage demanding recognition? Am I ready to stop fearing that love will consume me? Can I accept today that I have the right to be happy in a relationship? Can I distinguish my emotions from those that come from my parents' history? Do I allow myself to feel gratitude toward my partner, or do I treat her like a role to fulfill? Am I ready to allow myself to make mistakes without fleeing the relationship? Does my body trust that it can relax when it is close to a woman? Do I feel I must be unyielding to avoid repeating the mistakes of my ancestors? Am I ready to give up being the fixer? Is my partnership a choice of the heart or an attempt to achieve something? Can I say, I am here with you without history, without masks, without obligation? Am I ready to accept that I no longer have to suffer for love? Can I allow love to be an everyday thing, not a drama? Do I feel I can be myself in a relationship, even if that means being imperfect? Am I ready to see that my relationships don't have to look like those of my parents? Is my no in a relationship defense or clarity? Am I ready to be a man who feels, who sees, who chooses? Can I breathe a sigh of relief today and say, I have the right to love in my own way? Can I allow myself lightness in love without betraying the history of my ancestors? Is my need for explanations really a need, or a fear of the chaos that already was? Can I accept that everything I don't understand in my relationship may have its source outside of me? Am I ready to love without expectations, even if my ancestors never knew that freedom? Are my relationships an attempt to close a cycle that was never mine? Am I ready to look in the mirror and see myself, not the reflection of my ancestors? Can I give from a place of fullness, not lack? Is my yes in the relationship coming from desire or from a need to escape the loneliness of the lineage? Can I say to a woman, you don't have to be the one who saves me? Am I ready to trust the space between us without filling it with the past? Can I choose love without waiting for everything to be perfect? Are my reactions in the relationship real, or are they after images of family dramas? Can I let go of control even if my ancestors lost everything? Is my I must know a need of the mind or a voice from the past that never knew peace? Am I ready to allow things to be good without sabotage? Can my body love without fear that doesn't come from this life? Can I allow myself uncertainty without a need to close my heart? Is my presence a gift or a strategy? Am I in partnership with a woman or with the idea of love my lineage had? Am I ready to choose my own path, even if no one before me has chosen it? Is my sacrifice an expression of love or a deeply ingrained loyalty to suffering? Can I be soft in the eyes of a woman without feeling weaker because of it? Can I open myself to feminine energy without tension in my body? Are my decisions in the relationship the choice of an adult man or a boy thirsty for acceptance? Am I ready to give the greater whole the burden of healing everything? Can I just be in this relationship without history, without judgments, without projections? Is my silence conscious quiet or an escape from emotion? Do I allow love to flow through me like a river without trying to stop it? Can I accept closeness without the subconscious condition of, but not too much? Am I ready to feel all the feelings that have been postponed in my lineage for generations? Can I look at a woman and see a woman, not a mother, not a grandmother, not an idea? Is my never again a choice or armor? Am I ready to be emotionally naked, not needing the armor of history? Do I feel guilty when I have more love than my ancestors had? Do I allow myself to create a new story, not be its slave? Is my relationship an open space or a reconstruction of known pain? Am I ready to trust the rhythm of the soul, not the fear of the past? Can I accept that a woman can love me, even if I am still learning? Are my tensions in the relationship a soul signal or an echo of an old war? Am I ready to stop fighting for something I have long been able to simply accept? Can I be silent with her, not from lack of words but from presence? Can I allow myself to be led by space, not by fear? Am I ready to put down all the stories and truly see what is between us? Does my body long for something that has not yet happened because it has always been suppressed? Can I be a man who is not perfect but real? Am I ready to love a woman not for who she is to me, but for who she is? Can I be myself in the presence of love without needing to deserve it? Does my partnership have a chance to exist when I stop looking for everything in her? Am I ready to shed responsibility for all those who did not love in time? Can I say today, my love begins here, not there? Am I ready for my heart to become a meeting place, not just protection? Am I truly present in the relationship or just fulfilling a familiar script? Can I choose today the woman I love, not the woman who fits my lineage's story? Is my closeness a gift or an obligation? Am I ready to recognize that sometimes I run not from her, but from myself? Can I embrace my sensitivity, even if my ancestors had to suppress it to survive? Can I stop being afraid of feminine power and trust that I don't have to fight it? Am I ready to allow myself to love in a way no one in my family lineage has known? Does my heart remember something my mind does not understand? Am I in this relationship for growth or for a sense of security I lacked in childhood? Can I say enough to repeating suffering as a form of loyalty to my father or mother? Do I feel guilty when things are going well in the relationship? Can I see my partner as a separate soul, not a character from my inner theatre? Can I choose love today, even if I don't know what it looks like without drama? Am I ready to trust the space between us without trying to fill it? Do I allow myself to feel loss without treating it as a personal failure? Am I ready to stop playing the role of the one who fixes the woman? Can I allow myself uncertainty without trying to cover it up with masculinity? Can my body relax in love? Is my yes to her possibly a no to myself? Am I ready to see the woman as a mirror, not as a savior? Can I stop judging myself through my mother's eyes when I'm in a relationship with a woman? Am I ready to abandon the myth that a man must always know what he's doing? Can I be present without the need to solve everything? Is my tension in the relationship an echo of family trauma I carry in my body? Can I feel today that I am enough just as I am? Am I ready to let a woman love me even when I don't feel ready? Can I distinguish love from need? Am I ready to be in a relationship without constantly asking myself, am I doing this right? Do I feel I have to prove something to deserve closeness? Can I look at a woman from a place of freedom, not dependence? Is my I must be strong my truth, or armor inherited from my ancestors? Am I ready to stop fighting the feminine energy in myself and in her? Can I recognize today that I am not here to heal the pain of the entire lineage? Can I rest in the relationship instead of constantly having to prove something? Am I ready to allow myself to feel joy in being close without guilt? Are my relationships an attempt to redeem something that happened before I was born? Am I ready to stop treating a woman like a project that needs to be understood? Are my escapes from relationships truly my choice? Can I stop looking for confirmation of my worth in a woman? Am I ready to accept that I don't have to know everything to be present? Can I feel without the need to give it meaning? Am I ready for my relationship to be something entirely new, not a continuation of what is known? Can I choose presence today instead of analysis? Do I feel I must protect a woman because someone once failed to protect my mother? Am I ready to take responsibility only for what truly belongs to me? Can I be in a relationship without proving I deserve it? Does my trust in a woman begin with trusting myself? Am I ready to admit that sometimes I'm simply afraid and that it's okay? Can I say today, I am ready to love without a history? Can I be in a relationship without constantly comparing it to previous ones? Can I accept that my love life doesn't have to resemble my parents' love life? Am I ready to notice when I'm looking in her for what I didn't get from my mother? Can I acknowledge that I am not here to atone for the pain of the women in my ancestral line? Can I distinguish love from codependency? Am I ready to stop running away when things start to feel too good? Can I say today, I am here and I don't have to fix anything anymore? Does my body trust me when I'm close to a woman? Am I ready to let closeness flow freely, without a plan, without control? Are my needs truly mine, or are they a reflection of unfulfilled desires of my father or grandfather? Can I recognize today that I am worthy of love even if I'm not doing anything extraordinary? Can I accept that I don't have to know everything in order to feel? Am I ready to allow myself to be a man in a relationship without pretending to be a hero? Can I say to myself today, I no longer have to protect myself? Is my I am independent the truth, or a reaction to being left too early? Can I look at a woman with curiosity, not through the filter of past wounds? Am I ready to dissolve inside me the pattern, I have to earn my worth? Can I be present with her even when I don't know what to say? Does my heart have space for something new, or is it still defending itself against the unknown? Am I ready to feel that I am not alone, even if for generations it has been so? Can I acknowledge that I have the right to a relationship full of lightness and co-creation? Can I choose a partner, not a role she is supposed to play? Am I ready to allow myself a life that is not a repetition of my father's story? Can I look at myself with love, even when I make mistakes? Are my expectations of her an attempt to fill an inner emptiness? Am I ready to stop punishing myself for mistakes that are not mine? Can I feel today that I have a choice at every moment? Am I ready to recognize when I am present only with my body, not my soul? Can I be close without falling into patterns of dependence? Can I allow myself today to feel what is truly inside me without a mask? Am I ready to accept that a woman is not my mother and I am not her father? Can I look at our difficulties as teachers, not as sentences? Is my I don't need anyone's the truth, or the voice of a wounded boy? Can I accept love today without the need to deserve it? Am I ready to leave behind loyalty to pain that no longer serves me? Can I love without demanding that the other person fill my emptiness? Am I ready to let my heart lead even when my mind is afraid? Can I admit that my fears in the relationship are not condemnation, but a path to healing? Am I ready to give up fighting for being right in favor of truth? Is my keeping distance protection or punishment towards closeness? Can I see myself as a partner, not as a savior? Can I choose today a relationship that is not a reflection of the past, but a space of presence? Am I ready to free a woman from the role my pain assigned her? Can I choose myself today without rejecting her? Can I love without stories? Am I ready to feel myself deeply, even if it means something inside me will break apart? Can I trust that I don't have to be perfect to be enough? Is my partnership a dialogue or a monologue of fear and needs? Am I ready to hear what my body says when I am with her? Can I say today, I am ready to create, not repeat? Can I leave behind stories that never belonged to me? What if the relationship could be easy and I didn't have to earn it? What kind of energy do I need to bring to see a woman as an ally, not a threat? Am I ready to stop playing old stories just so I don't feel lonely? Can I feel safe in a woman's heart without losing touch with my own strength? What if I allowed myself to love without fear that it will end? Is my I don't trust my truth or an echo of maternal disappointment? What energy do I need to open myself to a relationship without the need to control it? Can I accept today that I am enough even if I'm not saving anyone? Am I ready to let go of the need to fix a woman in order to feel needed? What if my boundaries were natural, not forced by fear? Can I be close without losing myself? What energy do I need to choose a woman from a place of freedom, not lack? Is my partnership truly a choice or an escape from ancestral loneliness? Can I notice that my body tells me the truth before my mind does? What if I allowed myself to rest in the relationship instead of constantly analyzing it? Am I ready to trust a woman without constantly expecting her to disappoint me? What energy do I need for my word to carry the weight of presence, not the weight of the past? Are my difficulties in the relationship an invitation to grow or a reason to shut down? Can I see today that I don't have to try to deserve love? What if I allowed a woman to see me as I really am? Can I see when my anger is the grief of ancestors, not a reaction to my partner? What energy do I need to recognize true needs in myself, not illusions? Am I ready to give up loyalty to suffering in the name of true closeness? Can I love a woman today as she is, without trying to change her? What if being in a relationship didn't require sacrificing my integrity? Am I ready to stop protecting myself from love just because it once hurt? What energy do I need for my yes in the relationship to be full and true? Can I notice that I am repeating my father's relational pattern I'm trying to avoid? Can I accept today that I am loved not for something, but despite everything? What if my sensitivity was my greatest strength in the relationship? Am I ready to meet a woman beyond the rescuer-victim pattern? What energy do I need to dare to feel what has been suppressed for generations? Can I stop treating a relationship today as a battlefield for being right? Can I love a woman without requiring her to heal my old wounds? What if my presence were a sufficient gift for my partner? Am I ready to accept that I can create a new story, not a continuation of old dramas? What energy do I need to stop equating strength with shutting down? Is my emotional closeness a choice or a reaction to ancestral pain? Can I allow myself intimacy today, even if I feel unready? What if I gave up being the perfect man in favor of being authentic? Am I ready to feel discomfort with a woman as well as pleasure? What energy do I need to see my body as an ally in the relationship? Can I acknowledge that my fears are also the fears of those who came before me? Can I choose partnership from the soul, not from fear, today? What if I stopped running away from a woman when she starts to see me truly? Am I ready to leave behind the belief that love must hurt? What energy do I need to fully accept feminine closeness without tension? Are my needs authentic, or have they survived in my system through someone else's hunger? Can I accept love today without analyzing whether I deserve it? What if I stopped playing a role in the relationship and simply just was? Can I meet a woman today without needing to prove that I deserve her? Am I ready to let my heart speak before my fear does? What if my greatest strength lay in my authenticity, not in perfection? Can I respect that my pace in the relationship may differ from hers? What energy do I need to be in the relationship without needing to control it? Is my attachment to distance my protection or my wall? Am I ready to let go of the idea that a man must always know what he's doing? What if I allowed closeness to dissolve my old armors? Can I love today in a way no one in my family ever could? Am I ready to trust life even if I don't know where it leads me? What energy do I need for my body to feel safe in a woman's embrace? Can I be with her without trying to earn it through action, but simply through presence? Can I stop looking for in her what I didn't get from my mother? Am I ready to choose love even when I don't have control over it? What if a true relationship didn't need a strategy? Is my "I have to be strong" keeping me away from real intimacy? Can I allow myself to feel more than I can understand today? What energy do I need to look at a woman without expectations, only openness? Am I ready to accept that my closeness is not guilt, but a reaction I can transcend? Can I distinguish love from emotional dependency? Can I let go today of controlling how I should be as a man? What if I didn't have to protect myself from feeling just because it once hurt? Am I ready to see in her not a projection, but a person with her own story? Do my beliefs about relationships come from my heart or from my ancestors' experiences? What energy do I need to feel my worth without constant external validation? Can I let a woman go if it is no longer true for both of us? Am I ready to trust that I don't need to know all the answers to move forward? Is my "I can't love" a fact or an old story I can now leave behind? What if I could simply be in a relationship without needing to earn, explain, or fix? Can I feel today that my heart is ready, even if my mind is afraid? What energy do I need to recognize that love doesn't have to hurt? Am I ready to stop trying to be someone else in order to be loved? Can I be with her today as a free man, not a boy seeking approval? Can I stay connected to my body even when emotions become intense? What if a relationship could be a place of meeting, not a battlefield? Am I ready to admit to those moments when I don't know what I feel? What energy do I need to make my words align with my heart? Are my relational reactions truly mine, or echoes of masculine pain passed down through generations? Can I accept myself as enough today, without roles, results, or merits? Am I ready to open myself to a relationship that doesn't resemble anything I know? What if I allowed myself to feel without the need for immediate solutions? Can I choose a woman from a place of freedom, not emptiness? What energy do I need to embrace both the man and the boy inside me, without shame? Am I ready to let go of the belief that a real man needs no one? Can I say today, "I don't know, but I am," and let that be enough? Am I ready to see that a relationship is not about fixing each other, but about meeting each other? What if I stopped carrying the responsibility for all ancestral pain that isn't mine? Can I accept that I don't have to be anyone's savior to be important? What energy do I need to trust a woman before testing her loyalty? Am I ready to create something new that starts right now, not from history? Can I accept today that love doesn't require me to suffer? Am I ready to allow myself to love as no one before me has? What if I dared to let go of the pattern of fighting for attention? Can I acknowledge today that I don't have to be strong to be valuable? What energy do I need to feel safe in a woman's presence? Can I trust that I am loved even if I'm not playing any role? Am I ready to put down the weapons I hold against intimacy? What if I didn't have to prove that I'm a good partner? Is my heart ready to receive true seeing without masks or defenses? Can I accept that my I don't know is sacred? What energy do I need to see a woman as a teacher, not a threat? Am I ready to feel how my body tells me the truth about a relationship? Can I say to my ancestors today, I choose differently? Am I ready to allow my partner to see me even when I cannot see myself? What if I didn't have to be right to feel safe in a relationship? Can I breathe fully in the presence of another human being? Am I ready to let go of dramas that were the norm in my family? What energy do I need to be a man who doesn't run when things get deep? Can I notice today that my reactions are not me, just echoes of the past? Am I ready to love without fear of loss? What if I allowed myself to be loved simply for who I am? Is my I am not enough the truth or an inheritance? Can I honor my sensitivity today as a strength, not a weakness? What energy do I need to employ so that my heart can rest in closeness? Am I ready to accept that I don't have to earn closeness through sacrifice? Can I allow the relationship to be a mirror today, not a battlefield? Am I ready to stop punishing myself when I do things differently than my ancestors? What if I treated my partner as an ally, not a test? Can I trust today that what I feel is a sufficient guide? Am I ready to choose a relationship that builds me up, not rebuilds me? What energy do I need to recognize that I am already free? Can I be a man who doesn't hurt himself to be accepted? Am I ready to create intimacy that doesn't resemble childhood pain? What if my I am ready starts now, despite everything? Can I let go today of the need to save a woman to feel needed? Am I ready to acknowledge that what is difficult doesn't have to be my choice? What energy do I need to avoid confusing love with survival? Can my body feel today that it no longer has to fight? Am I ready to be present even if I don't know what to do? Can I invite my masculinity today to be both soft and strong at the same time? What if I allowed a woman to love me exactly as I am? Can I say today, I don't know, but I am with you? What energy do I need to choose a woman from the soul, not from fear? Am I ready to let go of the pattern of partnership as a contract and accept it as a meeting? Can I honor my past relationships today without endlessly repeating them? Am I ready for love to come to me easily and without struggle? What if I were to be for her without needing to earn it? Can I be with a woman without the need to possess her? Am I ready to recognize that what hurt me no longer has to define me? What energy do I need to be a man who chooses from presence, not from lack? Can I trust today that my sensitivity is my strength? What if I stopped running from the feeling of loneliness? What energy do I need to allow a woman into my world without fear? Am I ready to accept that I don't have to understand everything to love? Can I acknowledge my needs today and speak about them openly? Am I ready to trust the process of change in my partnership? What if closeness were a natural state for me, not a challenge? What energy do I need to release the fear of rejection? Can I be fully present even when emotions are difficult? Can I stop repeating the stories of my ancestors today? Am I ready to see a woman without the filters of expectations? What if I allowed myself full authenticity? What energy do I need to love unconditionally? Can I trust that my mistakes don't define my worth? Am I ready to stop controlling and start experiencing? Can I accept today that each of us is responsible for our own happiness? What if I let go of the need to be the hero in the relationship? What energy do I need to be a man who listens to his heart? Can I notice where I repeat the patterns of my ancestors? Am I ready to give myself the right to be imperfect? Can I love myself today the way I love my partner? What if I accepted that love is freedom, not obligation? What kind of energy do I need to invite in to open myself to true intimacy? Can I allow myself to express emotions without fear? Am I ready to take full responsibility for my own happiness? Can I trust today that a relationship can be light and joyful? What if I let myself be real without pretending? What energy must I call on to stop being afraid of closeness? Can I accept that I deserve love without conditions? Am I ready to stop looking for someone to blame? Can I practice patience today with myself and my partner? What if I let go of the past and focused on the present? What kind of energy must I bring to create space for mutual understanding? Can I be present even when I don't understand everything? Am I willing to trust the process of growth within the relationship? Can I forgive myself and my partner today? What if I chose love instead of fear? What energy must I embrace to be myself without a mask? Can I listen without judgment? Am I ready to accept that each of us has our own path? Can I trust today that this relationship is a teacher, not a sentence? What if I allowed myself to be loved? What kind of energy must I summon to stop fighting for control? Can I be grateful for every moment with my partner? Am I ready to love without expectations? Can I trust today that everything is unfolding for my highest good? What if I started to see beauty in our differences? What energy must I bring to be open to change? Can I allow myself to relax within the relationship? Am I ready to be a true man for myself and for my partner? Can I choose peace today instead of conflict? Can I look into a woman's eyes without fearing that she'll see my wounds? Am I willing to accept that my heart doesn't need armor to be strong? What if I began to trust feminine wisdom instead of resisting it? What kind of energy do I need to stop punishing my partner for my mother's mistakes? Can I release today my need to be needed? Am I ready to let this relationship be a space for the soul, not just the everyday? Can I stand fully in my masculinity and still admit to my uncertainty? What if I saw partnership as a way back to myself? Am I ready to end the loyalty to suffering I inherited from my father? Can I allow myself to rest in love rather than work for it? What kind of energy must I bring to feel safe when someone looks at me with tenderness? Am I ready to let a woman love me more than I love myself? Can I embrace today the little boy in me who waited for acceptance? What if every touch in the relationship was a conversation between souls? Can I dissolve the boundaries I built out of fear? Am I ready to stop fearing a woman's no? What kind of energy must I bring to honor her space without feeling rejected? Can I accept that my emotions are not a threat, but a gateway to truth? Am I ready to stop proving that I'm worthy of closeness? What if I stopped running away from the relationship when it becomes too real? Can I choose true presence today instead of just being fine? Am I ready to accept that I don't need to fix what isn't mine? What kind of energy must I call in to let love flow freely? Can I recognize that every difficulty in the relationship is an invitation, not a sentence? Am I ready to release the need to be the rescuer? What if I stepped down from the pedestal I placed myself on? Can I take responsibility today only for what is truly mine? Am I ready to accept that a woman is not my destination, but a companion on the journey? What kind of energy must I bring to meet her as an equal? Can I honor her pain without trying to save her? Am I ready to love her even when she doesn't give me what I want? What if I accepted that I no longer have to play a role in this relationship? Can I feel whole even when something ends? Am I ready to acknowledge that every ending opens the door to something new? What energy do I need to see partnership as a ritual, not a duty? Can I be with her in silence without escaping into action? Am I ready to receive joy without waiting for it to fall apart? What if my relationship was a sacred space, not a task to complete? Can I accept today that my presence is enough? Am I willing to stay even when I don't have all the answers? What kind of energy must I embody to stop defining myself by the past? Can I feel gratitude for every mirror a woman holds up to me? Am I ready to stop expecting her to complete me? Can I see today that I am whole, not a half? What if I stopped fearing the changing nature of the feminine? Am I ready to meet a woman not as an opponent, but as an ally? What kind of energy must I bring so that my presence is rooted, not conditional? Can I choose her consciously today, not out of habit? Am I ready to release the fear that closeness will consume me? Can I invite the unknown into the relationship today? Can I accept today that I don't have to suffer to be worthy of love? Am I ready to let my heart speak, even if my mind is afraid? What if I trusted that my feelings are guides, not enemies? What kind of energy must I embody to feel safe when someone sees my true self? Can I accept today that being present is the greatest gift I can give the relationship? Am I ready to allow a woman to be herself without needing to change her? Can I see today that I don't have to repeat the patterns of my mother and father? Am I ready to let myself release the deep pain I've carried? What if I stopped seeking in my partner what I never received from my mother? What energy must I bring to see a woman through the eyes of my soul, not the eyes of a wounded child? Can I see today that what irritates me the most is actually my teacher? Am I ready to stop blaming others for what I feel? Can I today return to my partner the responsibility for her own life while staying close in love? What if I stopped fighting for something that doesn't require a fight? Can I feel today that I am enough, even if I am still in the process? What kind of energy do I need to summon to say no with love and clarity? Am I ready to let go of the hope that the relationship will heal my old wounds? Can I give my partner freedom today without losing our connection? Can I stand by my own side today, even if no one ever stood there before? What if I trusted that I can love without placing conditions? Am I ready to see my strength in gentleness? What kind of energy must I employ to truly hear what the other person is saying? Can I say to myself today, I no longer need to protect myself? Am I ready to meet my partner anew, each day, without the weight of the past? Can I allow myself today to feel everything without running away? What if I gave up the right to hold a grudge and reclaimed my freedom? Am I ready to accept that some of my ancestors' battles are not mine to fight? What kind of energy do I need to see her heart, even when she speaks through pain? Can I stand in truth today, even if it brings the end of something old? Am I ready to be a partner, not a caretaker, not a savior, not a victim? Can I say I love you today without expecting anything in return? What if I stopped treating the relationship as a project to fix? Am I ready to be in a relationship not to hide, but to reveal myself? What kind of energy do I need to love with eyes wide open? Can I accept a woman's no today without feeling like I'm losing value? Am I ready to let my body be a path to truth, not a tool for control? Can I recognize today that intimacy doesn't always mean agreement? What if I stopped analyzing and simply allowed myself to feel? Am I ready to live a life that doesn't resemble my childhood? What kind of energy do I need to stop projecting the past onto the present? Can I say today, this doesn't belong to me, and put the burden down? Am I ready to trust that even if I fall, I can be lifted by love? Can I accept today that my boundaries are sacred, even if others don't understand them? What if I stopped trying to be better and simply allowed myself to be? Am I ready to accept that I am already a man, just as I am right now? What kind of energy do I need for my yes to come from presence, not fear? Can I stay in relationship today, even when uncertainty arises? Am I ready to create a new model of love, not against the past, but for the future? Can I stand today as a man who no longer runs from himself? Can I allow myself to feel today without the urge to act right away? Am I ready to see that not everything difficult needs to be fixed? What if I stopped treating my emotions as weakness? What kind of energy do I need to see a woman without the filters of my past? Can I trust today that my ancestors' wounds are not my destiny? Am I ready to release the belief that I must be strong at the expense of my truth? Can I look at my family today with gratitude instead of burden? Am I ready to recognize that what hurts in me longs to be healed through presence? What if I allowed myself to love without armor? What kind of energy do I need to stop seeking validation in the relationship? Can I accept today that true love doesn't need to be proven? Am I ready to leave behind the role of one who understands everything but feels nothing? Can I allow myself silence in the presence of another? What if I accepted that I am already good enough right now? Can I accept today that sometimes no answer is an answer? Am I ready to leave the past behind, even if it's been a comfortable excuse? What kind of energy do I need to look at my partner with curiosity, not fear? Can I acknowledge today that my father gave me all he could? Am I ready to end the inner struggle for the right to exist? Can I stand for love today, even if it's uncomfortable? What if I stopped looking for someone to blame and started choosing truth? Am I ready to honor my partner's boundaries, even when they hurt? Can I say I need you today without feeling weak? What kind of energy do I need to feel safe while being vulnerable? Can I choose responsibility over control today? Am I ready to let a woman shine in her own light, separate from mine? What if I trusted that I don't need to be anyone else to be loved? Can I see today that my life is not just an extension of my lineage? Am I ready to look at myself through eyes of compassion? What kind of energy do I need to fully welcome my partner's presence in my world? Can I recognize today that true intimacy is born in truth, not in perfection? Am I ready to release the need to be right? Can I say, I don't know today, and feel strength in that? What if I started loving a woman as she is, not as I wish she were? Can I stop punishing myself today for not knowing better in the past? Am I ready to accept that a relationship is not an obligation, but a gift? What kind of energy do I need to become more of myself in relationship? Not someone better. Can I see today the difference between being needed and being truly present? Am I ready to trust that I no longer have to play any role? Can I accept today that love is a process, not a destination? What if I treated every conflict as a path to understanding? Am I ready to choose closeness, even if I'm afraid of loss? Can I see today how much I've already broken through in my family line? What kind of energy do I need to let a woman walk her own path without losing connection? Can I feel today that everything I need is already within me? Am I ready to trust that a woman can be my mirror, not my judge? Can I embrace my shame with tenderness today? What if, for the first time today, I truly chose myself? Am I ready to end within myself what no longer serves love? Can I accept feminine closeness today without fear of being consumed? Am I ready to notice where, in relationship, I still act from the boy within? Can I recognize today that I don't have to earn love? It's enough that I am? What if I no longer had anything to prove? What kind of energy do I need to summon so that my heart can hold all emotions, not just the comfortable ones? Am I ready to acknowledge that my failures do not define my worth as a partner? Can I feel anger today without needing to destroy myself or another? Can I allow love not to hurt, even if my body remembers that it once did? Am I ready to accept that some of my reactions are echoes of a story that has already ended? What if I chose to meet my partner instead of judging her? Can I recognize today that loving is not a task, but a moment-to-moment choice? Am I ready to see a woman as a sovereign being, not to be tamed or defined? What kind of energy do I need to summon to dare enter a relationship without masks? Can I choose freedom today? Not the kind that separates, but the kind that connects? Am I ready to discover the space in me that has no need to control? Can I let go of the need for dominance in order to truly coexist? What if my heart was wiser than my mind? Am I ready to release everything that isn't mine, though I've carried it for years as if it were? Can I see my mother today through the eyes of a man, not a wounded child? What kind of energy do I need to summon to be with a woman in true presence, not in anxiety? Can I choose the wisdom of my body today as my guide in relationship? Am I ready to acknowledge that a woman is not responsible for my wounds? Can I let myself rest in trust today? Am I ready to meet my partner as she is today, not as I remember her from yesterday? What if I looked at her without the filter of my beliefs about women? Can I give today without expecting anything in return? Am I ready to be with my partner not because she needs me, but because she chooses me? Can I stop trying to control the future of this relationship? What kind of energy must I summon to see my tenderness as strength? Am I ready to forgive myself for once not knowing how to love better? Can I embrace all parts of myself today? The boy, the father, the warrior, the lover? Can I be the man today who no longer runs from the truth? What if I admitted today, yes, I fear intimacy, and stayed anyway? Am I ready to end the need for drama just to feel alive? Can I allow myself the fullness of life in relationship today? Can I be wrong today and not lose myself in it? What kind of energy must I summon to stay present when she cries, instead of silencing her? Am I ready to see that my inner child needs my shoulder, not my partner's? Can I say yes to a woman today without saying no to myself? Can I trust today that I'm enough even when I make mistakes? What if every conflict in a relationship was an invitation to deeper love? Am I ready to accept that I don't know how it will go and keep going together anyway? Can I let a woman go today if her soul needs to leave without holding or emotionally blackmailing her? Can I let go of all the ideas of who I should be as a partner? What kind of energy must I summon to bring more silence, less reaction into the relationship? Am I ready to see that my presence is medicine, not just obligation? Can I look in the mirror today and recognize that this man deserves love? What if I didn't have to play any role in the relationship and simply be? Am I ready to trust that my heart knows the way, even when my mind is lost? Can I look at a woman today with no expectations, only presence? What if I didn't need to be strong in the old way anymore? What kind of energy must I summon not to run away when things get intimate? Can I see today that true strength is born of vulnerability? Am I ready to hear the voice of my ancestors and choose what I want to carry forward? Can I honor the difference of another today without needing to change them? Can I feel grateful today that I no longer have to fight? Am I ready to notice how often I say yes when I really want to say no? What if I trusted that every emotion is a movement toward life? What kind of energy must I summon to truly listen, not just hear? Can I be a man today who no longer needs to fix everything around him? Am I ready to drop the mask of the one who knows better? Can I accept today that love is not a task, but a presence? Am I ready to feel closeness without the need to possess? What if I stopped fearing that I'll lose myself in relationship? Can I speak about my needs today without shame? Can I allow silence between us today without fear? Am I ready to see that my reactions are echoes of childhood, not truths of the present? What kind of energy must I summon to let go of the belief that I must be ready in order to love? Can I meet a woman today from the heart, not from fear? Am I ready to acknowledge that not every emotion requires action? Can I tell myself today, I no longer need to be someone else to be loved? What if I looked at my partner as a soul, not a role? Am I ready to let myself love slowly, without pressure? What kind of energy must I summon to be steady, not hard? Can I choose connection over control today? Am I ready to trust that my body knows what I need? Can I feel today that I am part of a larger story, but not its prisoner? Am I ready to release the need to prove I'm right? What if I chose co-creation instead of competition? Can I be in a relationship today not for what I get, but for what we create together? Am I ready to let go of old resentments that don't belong to this relationship, but to old pain? Can I accept today that everything I feel is allowed? What kind of energy must I summon to honor the rhythm of the relationship, not impose its pace? Can I tell the difference today between closeness and dependence? Am I ready to see my partner without the stories I project onto her? Can I stand today in a place that says, I am truly here? What if I took the risk today of being fully seen, just as I am?